When did the police decide that it was their job to patrol the tweets and not the streets? And when did they decide it was their job to demand or to get people to apologise, to say sorry for allegedly hurty words, for allegedly offensive tweets? It's not against the law in this country to be offensive. Otherwise, I'd be doing life. I'd be doing a long stretch in prison. Seriously, it's not against the law. But have a look at this video. It's chilling and it is sinister. Watch this. I'm going to play the whole thing to you.
You can come in, but you better have a damn good reason for being here. I'm a member of the Free Speech Union, and I'm an American citizen. I'll have Elon Musk on you so quick your feet won't touch.
Something that we believe you've written on Facebook has upset someone.
You're here because somebody got upset. Is it against the law? Am I being arrested?
You're not being arrested.
Then what are you doing here?
My plan was, if you were admitting that it was you who wrote the comment, you could just make an apology to the person.
I'm not apologizing to anybody, I can tell you that.
The alternative would be that I have to call you in for an interview. I'm here to talk to you about the allegation. They've reported it to the police.
So what?
Obviously, we get a lot of reports like that.
Are there no houses that have been burgled recently? No rapes, no murders?
Yeah, that's all going on as well. That's been...
Well, then why aren't you out there doing, investigating those?
Because I've got to investigate everything that gets reported.
Well, you're not investigating houses being burgled.
No, that's not my job today. I'd like to have a look at the comment that
I don't need to. I know exactly the things I've said. You know how many people in this neighborhood have been broken into?
I don't look after this neighborhood.
No, of course you don't, unless there's a tweet, then you do. So what? I haven't broken any laws. So you're going to be wasting your time when you can be, instead, doing things that are more important.
That's why I wanted to just come to you directly, have a chat about it.
No. You should not be doing this. I'm a cancer patient. You can see that because I'm bald.
I didn't know that before I came, but it doesn't change anything. You still can't break laws. If you haven't broken the law, then nothing happens.
Well, you know whether I've broken a law. You can judge for yourself before you even show up at my door. The public knows what you guys are doing. We know what's going on in this country. Why don't you do that? Get onto them and tell them to apologize to me, a cancer patient, a woman living on her own, who has never broken a law in her life, by the way, ever. An older woman, you tell them, I'm an elderly woman, I'm a cancer patient.
I have to come back and arrange an interview then.
Well, you can arrange it, but I'm going to tell you the same damn things that I'm telling you now. Next time, I'm going to have a Free Speech Union lawyer with me.
Well, I don't know about you, but I mean, that's extraordinary. If nothing else, that is wasting my money and yours. That is a waste of taxpayers' money. When did policing get reduced to that? I mean, I would say that I feel a bit sorry for the copper having to do that, but he seems to feel that, what he's doing is full of right and conscience. He's doing the right thing. Well, just apologise for what you... what are you talking about? That's not your job. I mean, come on. Let's talk to former police detective Mike Neville. Hello, Mike.
Yes, hello, Kevin. Good greetings from...
you're in France, aren't you? Yeah.
I'm in Normandy, celebrating the men who fought for our freedoms that we're supposed to have.
Well, that's a rather poignant place for you to be, given what we're discussing. You've seen that video. I sent it to you this morning, but I think you're already aware with it. It's been viewed over 2 million times. Deborah Anderson, I think you're seeing there the sort of edge of her sort of medical bed. The poor lady, she's got no hair because she's got a cancer patient. And the guy said, to be fair to the cop, he said, I didn't know that, but it doesn't change the situation. So let me ask you what I just stated to the audience. So when did the police decide that it was their job to persuade people to apologise for causing offence on Facebook or X or Twitter or social media? When did they decide that was their job? It isn't their job. Who decided it, and why do they do it?
Well, it's quite incredible, Kevin, isn't it? It's becoming like a primary school teacher, isn't it? Saying, all right, we've all been misbehaving, so we'll all hold hands and say sorry to each other. And I think the real change has come as the senior officers have changed. I've said this before, that when I was at Scotland Yard, when I first joined as a young PC, there was 40 senior officers and 20 of them were ex-army, and you had this crime-busting sort of role and catch robbers and burglars, and the other half of the senior officers were student types, you know, university graduates and the like. But now the whole place is dominated. I don't think any of the senior officers at Scotland Yard are ex-armed forces, and so you have people who focus on all the wrong things, really. You saw about 3-4 years ago, Merseyside police were driving around with a thing saying to cause offence is an offence. You know, this is the attitude coming from office.
Before the chief superintendent or the chief constable of Merseyside Police was informed it actually is not an offence to be offensive, and he went, oh, we better take those vans off the road then. I mean, a generation of coppers seem to be labouring under the misimpression that it is illegal to be offensive. It's not.
It's not illegal at all. And as I say, you're looking for a change. I noticed a change when Cressida Dick became the commissioner at the yard. There was an almost line in the sand there where it wasn't important anymore how many robbers, burglars and thieves you caught. Because my department used to deal with all the CCTV images of people captured, committing all sorts of offences. And we took great pride in identifying lots and lots of proper criminals, linking them to lots of crime and putting them in jail. But then there was no interest in this. And where we've come to now, the Free Speech Union, of which I'm also a member, because you never know who's going to attack you, is reporting that there's about 30 of these arrests a day. 30 arrests for these things a day. That's nearly 1,000 in a month. This is like far, far more than there are social media post arrests in places like Russia. It's just incredible. And somebody in the police needs to get a grip here. You have a Conservative, allegedly, police and crime commissioner in the Thames Valley Police where this incident occurred. What is he going to do about it? When is he going to speak to his chief constable and say, look, we need to sort this out? Because the last Thames Valley inspection showed that they were charging reported offences, only less than 4% of people were charged with a crime. And it said on the report, in crime investigation requires improvement. So they need, like the lady said, like Deborah Anderson said, they need to focus on burglaries and rapes and robberies and thefts. It simply isn't good enough, and it's letting the public down.
So this happened in June, as I say, as you can hear from Deborah's accent, Deborah Anderson. She's a cancer patient. She's American, rather, and she's a cancer patient. She's a mother of two. She is a member of the Free Speech Union. And you heard, in fairness, that copper saying, which would you like to know which of your posts caused offence? She said, no, I wouldn't. But often, coppers won't tell people. I did a story last night about a journalist who got the same treatment. Oh, you've posted 3 offensive tweets that are harassing someone, you're causing fear and distress. This was a journalist reporting the story of an ex-copper who was actually being charged with harassment. He said, she keeps posting these tweets and they're causing me fear and distress. This is harassment. So the police made her go into Plymouth Police Station. It cannot be the police's business that a reporter is reporting the truth on Twitter. So they've got it all wrong. So she's, to be fair, thank God, the Free Speech Union took up her case. But listen to this. She said she didn't want to know what the offensive post was, but the Free Speech Union took up her case, and now the police have dropped the case because there isn't a case. So they still haven't told Deborah which of her posts has got her into trouble. And when, out of interest, the Free Speech Union said, well, can we have a look at it? They said, oh, well, actually, we've accidentally deleted the record of the complaint. I mean, they're turning into sort of nanny state aunties, aren't they? Oh, you can't go around being nasty to people, I mean, what the hell is going on?
Well, you would, like I say, Kevin, you wouldn't mind, would you, if the police solved nearly every theft, every burglary, every robbery and rape? And they had, everything. All the criminals were locked up, and now they've got loads of time on their hands, and they think, well, our duty is to make sure that people are nice with each other. But it isn't like that. The police at the moment are solving 1% of thefts, on average 5% of burglars. People are just blatantly shoplifting, evading fares, and all sorts of other stuff. And what was really odd, what the officer said, we have to investigate every report that's made.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
It's completely untrue, because, I had a time, people would come into the police station with all sorts of delusions and tell you that, sort of Martian had robbed them with a ray gun. Well, you don't have to investigate that. Somebody reports that some apples have been stolen off the tree. You say, well, I'm sorry, we're not here to deal with that. But something's gone dreadfully wrong with the police, and I'm really convinced it's the leadership at the top, which is become politically correct. It's more concerned with diversity than it is criminal investigation, with a few notable exceptions. And then at the bottom, you have to have a degree to get in, so they can condition you to think this is the way forward. I was speaking to a great ex-cop, Kevin Hurley.
Kev comes on the show sometimes.
He's a top guy, and he said to me, look, me and you could go and take over the police tomorrow, and we'd almost find it impossible. They're reporting us straight away that the people inside the police, who wouldn't want to be led like this, they're quite happy to investigate tweets and not patrol and catch real criminals.
Well, as Deborah was pointed out, what about rapes? What about car thefts? What about burglaries? Oh, yeah, that's all going on as well. Yeah, thank you very much. It harks back, doesn't it, to 2 weeks ago when Graham Linehan, the writer and creator of Father Ted, was arrested at Heathrow Airport, having flown in from America for troubling tweets that he'd posted about trans issues about 10 months before. Just to lay out the facts of that case, he's Irish. So what we're talking about here is a foreigner flying in from a foreign country, America, and being arrested for tweets that he posted in America months ago. That's extraordinary. Now, Sir Mark Rowley, the Met Police Chief, said, well, yeah, I get it. There were 5 armed cops waiting for him at Heathrow. In fairness, at an airport, cops always will be armed. But 5 of them waiting. And Mark Rowley, the Met Police Chief, he said, well, our hands are tied. We are legally forced to do this. No. It's absolute rubbish. Coppers have the right of discretion to decide what they should spend taxpayers' money on, really, what they should devote their time to. So, as you say, if I phone up the police station and say somebody's just nicked my sandwich, or, they've taken an apple off my apple tree, that's not great, but you can understand a couple say, look, I'm sorry, mate, we've got more important things to do than that. But Mark Rowley said, we don't have any choice in this. Well, they make a choice every damn day, with thousands and thousands of car thefts, thousands of bicycle thefts, thousands of minor violent assaults. They make these choices all the time, and yet when it comes to tweets, when it comes to freedom of speech, they say their hands are tied. That's just a lie, isn't it? What that reveals, what it revealed about Mark Rowley is like top cops everywhere, obviously in Thames Valley as well, they want to do this. They like patrolling free speech. They like patrolling the tweets. They enjoy this. They think it's a sacred duty of theirs. What a load of crap.
Well, you've got to ask yourself, who thinks, like the arrest at Heathrow and this one, you've got to ask yourself, when somebody starts filming it, if you're a police officer, you think, does this look good? There must be this young
They
lad,
think it does, don't they?
Yeah, I agree. They're living in a parallel universe where they do think it's good, and they've got to be re-educated. Now, this re-education of the police comes from the top, so the Home Secretary should be saying, you've got to stop it, and you stop it now. They could bring in a law saying, unless it's proved to have caused some violence, you do nothing about it. So the Home Secretary could do something. The police and crime commissioners, like the one one in Thames Valley could take a stand and say we're not going to investigate these things anymore. I don't think anybody would be on the street saying, oh, you should be investigating this. So the chief constable could set the operational limits of it as well. Again, if there's no violence caused, then we don't do anything about it. And these top people could make these decisions and say, our focus is now on robbery, rape, theft, burglary, whatever crime impacts that area. But they're just crazy, Kevin. And if you think me heart back, you said before about the journalist in Plymouth. I've been on here discussing Plymouth with you before. Remember the
yeah, exactly right. I remember the case.
Disabled lad.
Is it little Oliver was his name?
Put on a tweet.
Mental age of 10. Yeah.
Facebook post saying he's going to kill Keir Starmer, and the whole apparatus of the police comes crushing down on this young lad. And all his mum's got to do is say, right, Oliver, you're not using your phone or the internet for a week. Little bits of common sense. The common sense has gone out of policing. When I was a young lad, me and a couple of mates were shooting air rifles and messing around. The policeman came round to our house. We had to go see this woman and say, look, we're sorry we're shooting air rifles. And we all went on to join the army or the Marines or the police. And we all did well, but that was common sense policing, and it's been lost because they've become robots like Rowley who say, we have to obey the law. Well, you don't have to obey the law because, like you say, every day, Alex Phillips has been on here saying, you know, a car was smashed into, she got some CCTV evidence, registration.
Exactly.
Nothing done about it. Nothing.
They make these decisions about real crimes every single day, not to pursue them. And yet when it comes to patrolling the tweets, freedom of speech, people posting things on Facebook and X, they say their hands are tied. They're not at all. They're not at all. They just like this and they think it looks good. Why they can't see that it makes them actually look absolutely terrible, dreadful, stupid, and bad at their jobs, I don't understand, Mike. But here we are, modern policing, eh? Mike, great to talk to you as always. Thank you so much for your time. Mike Neville, their former Met Police detective.